Khamzat Chimaev has come out and said all top 10 welterweights and middleweights have ducked me. I don't have any evidence that that is true other than he said it, but I also have no reason to question or challenge him because he's yet to say anything that didn't turn out to be true. I mean, in all fairness, right? The guy's got a level of credibility around here. But here's the question. Can you book him against a non-top 10 welterweight or middleweight? Can you do that? From an ethical responsibility of seeing what we've seen, of seeing the damage and the punishment and the lopsided victories that he's having, can you book him against someone else? Well, let's start with the legality. Yes. Little inside baseball here, but one thing that a commission will do is a commission will sign off on a fight or they won't. And they largely do that. And when I say largely, this is 99% of it. There's only one small piece of the pie where they look to something else, but they will look at records. If you got a guy that's got 4 matches and you got another guy with 4 matches, even if they are totally different matches and totally different levels of competition, a commission is going to look at that and say that makes sense to us. If you got a guy that's 5-0 and you got this guy that's 7-2, the commission's going to look at it and go, yeah, that makes sense to us. But you do have to pass this test first. I don't know what Chimaev is going to be ranked. The rankings are going to come out any moment now. I'll have that answer for you, but I don't have it in front of me now. I do want to go back to the question. Can you book him against somebody that is not in the top 10? Yes. Yes, you can. We don't want that as fans. We want Demian Maia. I do believe Demian Maia is going to step up. Nobody has ever backed Demian Maia down in the history of Demian Maia, and he's done a spread over 2 different weight classes, but there's a first time for everything. Can you book him against someone else? Well, sure, he's 4-0. He's 4-0 in the UFC, and so are a whole bunch of other guys. And if they're not, they're close. They're 8-3. They're 9-4. There's guys that a commission could look at and they would sign off. And Chimaev is in a very interesting spot in his career. He is not in a spot where people are starting to cheer against him yet. He is in a very unique spot where people are starting to tune in to see exactly what do we have here. What do we have here? We found out that he can fight on top. We found out that he can fight on his feet, but we don't yet know, can he fight off of his back? There are wrestlers out there who will put him there, at least in theory. That would be very compelling to all of us. There's a number of compelling things that you can do with Chimaev. Let me ask you another question. Chimaev is now 3-0 in the UFC. In fact, I believe I just said he was 4. He's 3-0 in the UFC. Who'd he beat? Right now. Come on, right now. Don't go to Google. Don't turn and phone a friend. I'm asking you right now, who did he beat? And you're going to know GM3. Sure you are. Who else did he beat? And that is not me being condescending towards those athletes in the least. I'm just attempting to prove the point that he is in a very weird spot that he's not going to be at for long. But he is in a very weird spot where you can put him in there with anybody. With anybody who raises their hand, as long as we stick to the gimmick that he keeps bouncing back weight classes and he does one after the next as quickly as possible. That is all that we need for Chimaev right now. Sean Shelby is going to run into much bigger problems. But when he gets to that point, these guys aren't going to be ducking him, okay? Make no mistake, the guys that are ducking and avoiding him are not scared. They're just not seeing the reward. They're going, hey, wait a minute. This guy's not ranked. I am ranked. I have never thought about this guy not one day in my life, but I have sure thought about these 3 guys. Why are you calling me for somebody like that? I'm just sharing with you. It's a very different spot. He's not going to be here for long. But I do believe him, and I do believe those top guys are ducking him to an extent. They're going to have to figure something out. But for any up-and-comer right now who thinks, well, I'm not in the UFC and I'm not a top 10, get a hold of Sean Shelby. If Chimaev's information is true and accurate and nobody will fight him, be the guy that fights him. That is your ticket in. Look, guys, there's no easy work over here. There's some work that might be harder than someone else, and there's some work that might be more intimidating. It's just flat scarier than other jobs. Well, that's kind of the job you signed up for. So this isn't a matter of me telling you work on your skills and go find your courage. What I'm telling you and I'm showing you, and it's right in front of our face, and we've got the answer from the principal component himself, which is Khamzat Chimaev. He is just simply looking for an opponent. So go and be that opponent.